If you got frustrated for 5 seconds, think about our situation who did this for 2 hours.
Hello and welcome to India Today. I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And this is Maruthi Acharya, and we just completed watching one of my most anticipated Telugu films of this year. So much expectations.
Funky. Some laughters. Credit where credit is due. I laughed a couple of times. Couple of other people were laughing a couple of other times. But for most, the experience was about the crickets that you heard at the start.
After watching Jati Ratnalu, everybody started doing this. After watching Funky, my reaction is this.
Kayadu Lohar looked beautiful though.
Funky is the latest Telugu film starring Vishwak Sen, Kayadu Lohar, and the movie is directed by Anudeep, Jati Ratnalu Anudeep. Definitely not Funky Anudeep, but yeah, KV Anudeep, and the movie is produced by Sitara Entertainments, music by Beams Cesarelio. First things first, before getting into the review with my audience, I want to ask a genuine question. When producers, filmmakers, directors in recent times are putting this thoughts in the pre-release events or the promotional interviews, right? Film is all about entertainment. All that we need is entertainment. All that we want to give is entertainment. Why do you look for story, logic, structure? Okay, fair. You have a point. But if you have a point, then we as critics and reviewers, we can also do so much of entertainment. We don't have to think about structure. We don't have to think about that, this, do it. So it is same, right? If you can do it, ideally we should also do it. If you can't do it, we shouldn't also do it, right? What do you think about it? Mention that in the comments below.
Let's just make a good film and then talk nicely about it. That is the good place to be in. What did we like about the film? Let's talk about that. Let's get that out because that shouldn't take a lot of time.
There is one scene where Kayadu Lohar character and Vishwak Sen character are talking about a love scene. That was good. There is a Raghu Babu scene which was really hilarious. And there is a baby-related baby referencing Sai Rajesh. That was also hilarious. I think that's it. That was funny.
See, exactly. This is what is the good things in the film. The comedy lands for some people, doesn't land for some people. I felt like for most of the time, some jokes he was enjoying, but then I wasn't at all. I come from a place where it shouldn't be just cringe that is making you laugh or giggle. But there were also some moments in the film where a couple of jokes, it hit right for me. Those were situational comedies where there's a quick reaction or something like that. So there is some scope with some of the jokes for some people. It is not a wholesome comedy film.
Let's get to the things that didn't work for us in the film. Firstly, again, I don't know if it is our screening. For the people who watched, mention that in the comments below. I really feel like I watched the BTS behind the scenes video of the making of Funky. Where is the actual film, boss? The movie actually felt like BTS of the film because the story that Vishwak Sen in the movie is directing also, there is no story, there's nothing, and pretty much the film is also that. So where is the film? I just saw the BTS video.
See, we get that there is this whole genre of films that is absurd comedy, illogical comedy, or stupid films basically. And there are some films in recent times which did really well. Anudeep got all of his name and fame from a film like that. Jati Ratnalu is a brilliant example of how to do a good stupid film. Very good stupid film. But here in Funky, it felt like all the good things of that film was just removed. And then the structure or the formula was just taken and tried to be recreated. It's just a scene after a scene after a scene. There's no clear transition. You can clearly see that some things is being fitted later, just the same costume, and then one little giggle for the sake of it is being plastered between two scenes which has no relation to each other. It's just all of this jugaad happening throughout the film. It felt like this was more of a YouTube skit or a sketch than a film.
The structure of the film is where the film majorly lacks because let me tell you, again, I understand Jati Ratnalu is one of my favorite Telugu films and I also enjoyed Prince. Anudeep has a very special taste in terms of dialogues, comedy and comedy set pieces, especially from writing to how he extracts it from characters and actors. So that is the reason why he has set a benchmark and the expectations, I think, are warranted because you've given films like that. But with this film, right, let me give you an example. There is a scene, a conversation between Kayadu Lohar's character and Vishwak Sen's character. Suddenly, it will switch to another scene. And then again, suddenly it will switch to the continuation of that scene. So there is a comedy gag, which they thought it was hilarious. They didn't know where to fit in. So in between these both scenes, they just randomly integrated that. And this is not just one scene. There are so many scenes in the movie which They thought the comedy gags were really good and they just randomly integrated with no order whatsoever. And to be really honest, unfortunately, most of the comedy gags which they thought, and even I feel on paper or while narrating, might be interesting and funny, but on translation onto big screen, it was not funny and it is very disheartening to see that on big screen.
I felt like the improvisation part or the reactions that were needed or the continuation of what the dialogue is, all of that lagged severely. It felt like the dialogues were just written on the set and they're like, please do continue, do whatever you can with this. It was almost like that, and that was very underwhelming.
Second thing, performances also didn't work for me. Again, Vishwak Sen is one of the actors who gets trolled a lot. But I am personally rooting for him because he started his career trajectory as someone who was ready to take risks with his kind of script choices, and he's really interested in the craft of filmmaking beyond acting. He's a director and a pretty decent one. Falakna Matas is a really good film. There is merit in Das Ki Damki also. And I'm really excited for Cult also. So, I am really rooting for this actor, and after Mechanic Rocky, Laila, after underwhelming products, and when the announcement happened, right, Funky, which is Anudeep and Vishwak Sen, I was really excited because Anudeep has a different sensibility when it comes to comedy and Vishwak Sen has a different sensibility. The blend is where the film's merit is. It is that is the place where it was supposed to shine. But unfortunately, this became a fully Anudeep film, not a good version of Anudeep film, and Vishwak Sen was trying so hard to fit into the world, and it was uncomfortable after a point to watch him struggle in this role.
It was uncomfortable to see him being uncomfortable, quite literally, with the character as well as the actor himself. Along with him, the rest of the it feels like everybody tried to do what their role demanded. You cannot really blame any of the actors because they were doing what was being told to them, and they were trying to go a little beyond with all the dialogues and comedy. It is simply that none of it landed.
Technical departments also, cinematography, music were decent at best. Half of the film has so many dubbing issues and it is so frustrating to see because it is a comedy film. It is evident that the sync is totally missing, and that was really frustrating.
To put it in simple words, the story of the film is that Vishwak Sen, who plays a director, Komal, is supposed to make a film in 1 crore. A very small, stringent budget for a film, right? For a Telugu film especially. But it felt like this whole film was being made under that particular condition itself, because there were a lot of places where there weren't technical departments over there. Like I said earlier, the improvisation part, a lot of that might have happened while shooting the scene, but there was nobody to probably take down the dialogues that was being improvised over there so that it could be used later in the dubbing. There was probably no sync sound in while they were shooting. There was a lot of issues when you come to the technical departments.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of content in the film, so we are finding it really hard to find content to talk about the film here as well.
But if you watch the teaser, trailer, if you think Anudeep kind of comedy might work for you and you like the trailer and you want to go give it a shot, I think you should definitely give it a shot.
There's a lot of other reactions, reviews on the channel that we do. We cover a lot of other industries, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, sometimes Hindi as well. So just check our content out, and if you like what we say, do make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, before ending the video, again, the best dialogue in the film is Chala Galis Untadi. With that, this is Maruthi Acharya.
I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And you're watching India Today.